Hey guys, welcome to the update video for the end of week 2. We've crossed the line into Super Silver and are now less than 1,000 points away from Gold. Let's talk about how things are going and set new goals for the week as we keep pushing forward. To start, let's talk about how this week went. You might have noticed in the highlight videos I kept track of how many matches I've played for that week and the win rate I've had as well. You gotta click show more in the description to see that part though. But for the previous highlights, I've only had to play around 20 to 30 matches, and I would kind of cruise on by with like a 65% win rate. But this week was much different. For this week, I had to play 171 matches. That's like 6 to 7 times more. And I only had a 52% win rate this time around, which is possible because of the point system. You know, I get a lot more points than I lose from beating Super Silver people. And all in all, it just shows that things went quite a bit more rough this time around. I actually fluctuated quite a bit. At first, I think I dropped back down to Ultra Bronze twice, maybe even a Super Bronze one time, I don't remember. But eventually I pushed up to around 2,500 points, and then the next day I hit Super Silver. So all of that being said, I never felt like there was a wall that I had to break through. It was a step up challenge-wise, but I was always confident that I would rank up before the end of the week. However, we're finally getting close to the limits of my previous skill level and experience with Mika, and I'm 95% sure that if I don't double down on some very basic skills soon, I'll be stuck in this range for quite a while. So let's talk about those skills and what goals we can cross off the list as we move forward into week 3. Out of the 6 goals on the list, we'll be crossing off 4.5 of them. First up is defensive patience. I'm not going to say that I've been 100% perfect on this. You can see it on the highlights. I still get a bit panicked in some moments. It's mostly just when I fight mirror matches. I don't know why, but I always panic during mirror matches. It always makes me really kind of antsy. You can even see in that set that I started reverting back to like random V-trigger usage for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to have to work on that. But overall, though, against non-mirror matches, I've been doing pretty good on that, significantly better. At least enough that I notice I'm being thrown a lot more to counter all the blocking that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off the list. Hit confirms are halfway there. I can do them just fine in training mode, but for some reason I never find myself using the light confirm in actual matches. I always jump right into the target combo, and that has come back to bite me quite a few times. So we're going to cross off the medium confirm since I always use that, and we're going to work on using the light confirm as a habit to prevent being punished for the target combo. Learning about the EX moves and Vanity Step was also relatively simple. I've added some information to my notes, which I'll start posting in the description below. I learned 3 combos for EX Parabellum, this basic air throw one for damage, this medium Vanity Step 1 for corner carry, and this V-Trigger 1 combo that does like 600 stun from a jump in. It's pretty nice. These combos have been extremely useful, and if I could go back in time, I think I would have learned these sooner, to be honest. Being able to have these options every time it's my turn to attack is great, but the best part is that it only costs 1 bar. If I feel that an opponent is especially impatient wanting to press buttons, I can sometimes get a second combo off for a 2nd bar, and that not only gives me more damage in total than a super combo, but also leads them into stun for even more damage. But I mean, either way, at least I have them in my toolbox now, and that's all that matters. So I'll be crossing this off the list, but later on I'm sure I'll come back and add more EX combos when I need them for like hail sit-ups and stuff like that. And then finally, we're crossing off the 2 mini goals of learning the sweep combo and finding a meaty follow-up for heavy Parabellum. Most of the time I'm getting the sweep combo out now, and I'll keep it in the warm-ups to improve that even further. For the HP Parabellum follow-up, I have 1, but we'll talk about the problems with it in a minute as we set new goals. Moving on to week 3, I really want to back up and focus on making sure that my kind of like foundation of skills is solid as I start climbing the gold. I've learned lots of Colleen specific things, right? I've got EX combos, I've got super combos, jump-in combos, sweep, like a whole bunch of Colleen specific stuff, but I haven't devoted enough time to working on the universal skills that everyone would use, and you can see that in how many matches I had to play to rank up this week. I watched Travisaur's getting out of silver video, and even he mostly talks about just becoming consistent with the skills learned in bronze. So here's what we're gonna do. Week 3 is going to be much more narrow and focused this time around. We're going to be focusing on 3 main areas and possibly carry these exact goals into week 4 if I need to. These areas are going to be anti-airs, hit confirms / counter hit confirms, and meaties. If we're being honest, my anti-airs are currently garbage. Yeah, garbage. A perfect example of this is the Akuma match in the highlights. I fought this Akuma so many times over the past few months with Mika, and he always does the exact same thing. It's 1,000,000 variations of jump-ins, jump fireballs, and demon flips, and then wake up Tatsus, but that's not me trying to talk smack about this guy, it's me trying to talk smack about myself, because as you can see, even though I know exactly what he's going to do already, he continues to do these things because they work on me. At the start of the match, he already does the exact same thing 3 times, 3 demon flips, but I only anti-air it once. I get hit by every wake up Tatsu because my meaty timings are off, or I think, I'm assuming that's what's going on there. But the point is, for me to be where I'm at and still have trouble with this kind of stuff feels pretty embarrassing, so I'm going to use this week to dive in deep and fix every factor that contributes to this happening. Part of the problem is that I'm pressing too many buttons. I'm getting jumped in on during the recovery animation of Snipe Kick, or Crouching Medium Kick, or whatever else. Part of it's also muscle memory. I'm so used to having to only press my catch-all magical anti-air of Mika's Crouching Medium Punch that gets long-range jumps, cross-ups, like everything. And here with Colleen it's different. I have many more options, but I also have to use all of these options often instead of just relying on one anti-air. So that's also another aspect, that I'm not using all the tools that I have available to me. Out of the 3 goals for this week, I really want to focus like 60 to 70% of my effort that I have on crossing this one off the list. Specifically, I want to get this out of the way because I've always struggled with it, so hopefully I can get it done. Hit confirms and counter hit confirms are also going to be challenging since these are brand new skills to me. Hit confirming I have a little bit of experience with, but counter hit confirming is brand new to me, and since the Getting Good series recommended starting it back before even ranking up to silver, I should probably get that started. As of this recording, I haven't actually even looked at the video to see exactly what counter hit confirming is, so I don't have too much to discuss here. I might need new combos or something, I'm not sure yet, but if I do, I'll make sure to add them to the notes. The last goal for week 3 is meaties. As I mentioned before, I learned a follow-up for Heavy Parabellum, but the problem is that it only works on quick rises. If the opponent back rises or does a delayed rise, then I have to throw that setup right out the window. As I said last week, I held off on manual meaties because of the problems with combo execution and anti-airing, but since my combos are much better now and I'm focusing on fixing anti-airing this week, I think it's time to get this started. Again, these skills are really important, so I'm prepared to carry all 3 over into week 4 if I need to. I'd like to get anti-airing crossed off first this week, but I'm not sure how difficult counter hit confirms are, so I might be able to get that crossed off this week too. And I'm expecting meaties to take 2, maybe 3 weeks to get under wraps once I cross off anti-airs and prioritize it next. The last thing I really want to say for this update is that I'm actually pretty excited. Looking back to my time with Armika, I felt like I was kind of able to cheese my way up the ladder, and then at a certain point I stopped growing as a player. I mean, a big part of that was that I wasn't really happy with the character, so I kind of stopped putting effort into learning new skills and techniques with her. But I relied a lot on gimmicks like Wake Up EX Peach or drop kicks to like skip the neutral phase and just 50-50 my way to wins once they were in the corner. With Colleen, I actually feel like I'm becoming a better Street Fighter player. I feel like I haven't added parries to my notes, so I'm not spamming V-skills and parries against people who don't know how to counter it. I've tried to play quote-unquote honest, as some people like to say, and it's definitely helped me grow, even if the skills that I've practiced are essentially things that I've put time into learning before. Like, it's review, but it's still helping me get better. I think moving into this week and next week is going to be kind of like the real make it or break it points for this series, because I'm actually moving into areas that I haven't ever touched before. I'll add new skills with counter hit confirms and meaties, and hopefully within these 2 weeks cross that line into the gold ranks. I know ranks don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but I kind of view it as a sign that I'm actually better than I was before I started the series, and that training like this is really an effective way to get better at the game. Since the goal is to eventually become competitive, I might even start showing up to tournaments for the heck of it too. There's like online tournaments on the Street Fighter Reddit, and I'm about an hour away from Wednesday Night Fights in SoCal and the Super Arcade, so there's plenty of places to get that experience if I feel like I'm ready for that. I'm also probably showing up to EVO if things work out, so all in all, it's going to be an exciting journey. Hopefully I could hit, I don't know, like Platinum, maybe High Plat by then in time for EVO, but Anyways, that stuff is further down the road, and this update has probably gone on a little too long, so I'll get to work on these new goals, and I'll see you guys next time.